Okay, everybody's got a to-do list, dropping off, dry cleaning, picking up some milk. Here's an idea. Let's save hundreds of dollars on car insurance. And the good thing is, you don't have to drop off or pick up anything. All you have to do is go to geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you could be saving 15% or more on your car insurance. Extra money in your pocket, my friends. You know what to do with that. It's just maybe the most rewarding to do you do today.
Now, Podcast One brings you Spike's Car Radio, a downloadable cars and coffee, hosted by writer, comedian, and automotive enthusiast, Spike Ferriston. Now, here's Spike.
Hi, everybody. Are we recording? Is this you've hit the two buttons there on the tape recorder? Oh, good. Here we are.
All of that.
We're in the podcast studio with Jonny Lieberman. Welcome back to the show, Jonny.
He's
Good
Hebrew.
to be back.
Real Zuckerman. He brought a big bag of cookies.
I did. As I was telling you, Farrah, I always bring bourbon
For
when I do
Matt Farrah?
show because
Yeah.
we do it at night, and you do yours at very early in the morning for
Yeah.
me. So you get cookies. But
We're not children like you.
I like to bring gifts.
We like to wake up and get to work.
I get up at 5:45
before we go to work. You
No,
do?
I got a kid.
Okay.
But I get commuting from my house to here is an hour and 15-minute drive. So
Why is it that when a stranger gives you, you're not exactly a stranger, but you're kind of a stranger. When they give you cookies, you ask, "Is there weed in it?" Like immediately,
There's
I
no
thought,
weed.
"There's no weed in those cookies."
These are
Good.
just cookies.
Yeah, that's good. But you know what I mean? It's whenever now someone hands you a baked good and you don't quite know them, do you assume that there could be weed in it? Is that just me?
No one hands me baked goods. Yeah. But please, have a cookie.
You just had a cookie.
I did, and they're excellent. In fact,
you.
Lieberman, you put a little salt in there. And I really appreciate the salt because that balances so nicely with the sweet.
Well, the secret ingredient is, of course, salt because,
we're all
salt makes
addicted
food
to
taste
it.
better. Well, it makes food taste better.
And it's going to be, Zuckerman, come on.
Yeah.
Don't lower your salt. Don't raise your salt.
Well, just have
Don't
a cookie.
assault
Come on,
me.
Spike. Have a cookie.
All right, we have a good show today. We've got Jonny Lieberman, of course, and we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all of it. Lots of Instagram questions everywhere. We're also going to talk to Rick Schad or Schad. Rick Schad, who has a new Concours on the East Coast. They're bringing Pebble Beach to the East Coast, my East Coast friends. Good for you. It's called the Audrain Concours, October 3rd to the 6th. Check it out, Newport, Rhode Island. Swiggins, Newport. You know where we summer.
Yes, clam bakes.
It's going to be excellent. Also, got to mention, 25th Annual Peterson Gala is October 5th here on the West Coast, and it's going to be honoring the Ford Motor family. I told them I would help them promote it. You can go to thepeterson.org to get tickets. Jonny, you going to that? The Peterson Gala? Do you ever go to that? It's quite an event.
I've never been to the Gala, but I go to the Peterson all the time. I'm a member. I know
Gala,
Bruce. I know everybody.
They actually, you got to put on a black tie for this. It's a big deal.
I don't think my membership level's high enough to get invited to the Gala. But
Well, let's all
one of
go to
these
the
years.
gala.
One of these
And
years.
I'm going to click the purchase tickets right now.
dress as Henry Ford.
Well, how can that be? That can't be.
Bring his newspaper.
A single seat is $1,500.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, well.
Is I don't think
I guess
mine-
I'm not
Wow.
going.
I'm at a much lower. Yeah, it's a. It's a.
Look, there's Jay Leno on the page. There.
Again.
His face
Yeah.
just stuck out. Yeah, Jay's everywhere, right?
He's everywhere. The guy's amazing.
He's also going to be at the Audrain Concours.
He's
so
the
good
grand
for him.
Poobah of the Audrain Concours.
He is. But, as Jay ages out of the profession, which, means death, it's just us.
I mean,
I
saw
we're,
Jay
we're the
not long ago.
that's
I'm
so
not
saying-
right. Yeah, he's
Embarrassing.
I'm not saying he's going to
so
die.
shocked at
He's
you.
doing
That is
well.
so impolitic of you. I know when he gets his final eviction. I think
Yeah, who's the lawyer here? Wait a second.
He's a comedian. He'll appreciate that joke. But that is the only way to age out of the car thing,
Right,
is
it
to
is.
die. There's
Right.
no aging out of it. You just die. You die out of it.
Yeah.
But they're going to be looking to folks like us. Does that terrify you, Jonny, that you might have to be the guy that goes to all these events?
No, that sounds. But it is funny. Like somebody, on Instagram, I do these you got any car questions thing when I have an hour to kill and just sitting in a doctor's office or something. And one of them was the other day was, where do you see yourself in 15 years? And I was kind of terrified by that because
Yeah.
I've never really had a plan beyond I want to drive cars and tell people about it. That's pretty frightening. So if I was being flown around the world to be the grand poobah of a car show.
You would like that.
As long as there's a little
That's
bit
great.
of Skrilla attached to it,
Some money, right?
Yeah.
What does it take to get Jonny Lieberman out of bed? 10 grand?
No, I'm not.
get on
I'm
a
not.
plane?
I'm not at your level. No, I can go a little lower than that.
That's good.
Yeah,
That-
halvesies maybe, something like that.
well, I mean, traveling's a pain in the ass, right? You have children, you have a family, right?
I do. But,
So
but if there's just a little taste of something in there.
And what
I'll do it.
will these people get for that? A little bit of social media support, and of course your fans will join you.
Sure, and and expert analysis. I mean, just
That's good. Yeah, you could judge.
Yeah.
This is good. That's a good business for you.
Yeah, could
Would
be,
you wear
could
the
be.
whole denim outfit in Jay's place?
No, I would not. No.
Would you judge
you
with a
have to do
yarmulke
that.
on? If you had
I will go as far as salmon pants. Salmon pants. I will do that, and I'll wear a funny hat. Not necessarily a yarmulke.
a yarmulke as a judge would look very imposing.
But I think if I showed up with a yarmulke, it's kind of redundant,
but it's authoritative.
No kidding.
Yeah, I would like to see him show up in a full rabbi outfit.
No, I'm pretty
like Our
close.
Boys
Yes.
on HBO. That's what I want you in one of those outfits.
And then take out a gun and shoot somebody.
No.
What kind of Jewish guy is that in Our Boys, Zuckerman? Is that Hasidic Jew?
Those are Hasidics.
Those are Hasidics. Okay.
Hasids.
Hasids.
We see them around L.A.
yeah.
They picked the style point out of 1690 Poland and decided that they would wear that for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
Heavy black coats, black hats.
I used to. Do you ever get like harassed? It never happens in LA, but when I lived in New York, I get like chased by Hasids and Lubavitchers and
Yes.
Yes,
come pray with us.
Are you Jewish?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you said the Shema today?
Yeah.
Not today. Then they grab you, throw you in the
Shema.
van.
Yeah, they want you to pray, and it's
a big thing.
Hey, you know what? Whatever you believe in, keep it to yourself. That's my opinion.
Well said. Well said.
There was, there were some Jewish people walking on Bundy the other day, or down where I live. Right? My son said, "Why are they walking?" And I said, "I think they're observing Jews, and they don't on the Sabbath. Right? Isn't that Saturdays?"
Yes.
Wow, you're terrible. Yes,
I'm
yes,
Catholic. I said they can't drive a car. I don't think they
Right.
can play video games, and they can't eat hot dogs. I'm not quite sure how it worked, but he said he had a good question. He said, well, what happens if you have to go to the doctor if there's an emergency?
There's always an out. There's
an
an
out.
You
It's
go to the
okay.
doctor.
Yeah,
you
there's
go to the
we're
doctor, yeah.
legalistic people. There's always a B section in the
The
code.
most important thing is life. So if you're a doctor who's not allowed
So
to
you
work,
can. It's not a sin.
Yeah. In fact, it's a mitzvah. So, like, if you're a doctor and someone gets sick on the, it actually makes God happy if you save someone's
Listen
life.
to Lieberman talking the faith.
I got
yeshiva.
I used
He
to
attended
study
yeshiva.
What are we
Oh,
listening
I used to study Talmud. I mean, I was like pretty close to.
Are you
the-
watching Our Boys on HBO? You got to.
No.
It's
Okay.
so great.
Yeah.
It's so
Do you
good.
eat ham?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me
I've
too.
judged-
Okay,
I
thank
judged-
you. Let's
I
let's get.
judged a pork competition one time. I had 60
Okay,
ham dishes.
Lieberman.
Yeah.
Now, okay, because when you were starting to tell me all
No,
about,
I got close. I swear this is true. I'll make it as short as possible. I was in Crown Heights. I was at a Shabbat dinner, and they were trying to recruit me to move to Jerusalem and like study.
Oh, boy.
They're
Wow.
like- and they're like, we're going to give you a rich wife, and all you'll do is study.
Really?
And that pretty appealing. Like
That's
all-
a pretty nice deal. What
But
do you?
I'm sitting there, and
it's a con.
and this guy,
It's not real?
And no, it's real. But this guy, he saved my life. I don't know who his name, but I remember sitting there. We're drunk because you drink a lot. That's one of the ways.
It's just getting better.
Yeah. And he looks at me and he goes, "Don't do it." He goes, they told me it would be 6 weeks. Then it was 6 months. Now I'm wearing this stupid hat. Like, run. Like, I ran out of there.
That sounds
Straight
like a
to
cult.
ham.
Oh, well, actually,
Yeah.
I got to tell this story. So, so as we're leaving.
But wait, so there really aren't any rich wives.
Oh, there's rich wives.
There are.
Yeah.
They don't give them to guys like us, though.
Why?
They wanted me. They were.
It sounds
after
like,
me.
yeah, they
Really,
liked
were,
him.
They were
Yeah.
after me.
And they were going to give you someone. Oh God, the whole thing.
So this
In
rabbi,
exchange for just the learning,
studying,
just studying.
study all day. Yeah, they thought I
Wow.
could have had a good, Talmudic mind. Anyways,
Is there a Talmudic car scene at all that
No.
you could have?
Yes,
played
it's
in?
called a
No.
minivan
No,
with 10
yeah,
kids
yeah,
in it.
exactly.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Old
Is what it's
GM
called.
Anyway, anyways, I got close, but now I judge pork competitions. Yeah.
Run, Lieberman, run.
Much happier.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's talk about
ran.
cars.
Yeah,
this is
okay.
fun. It's already fun. That we
Yes.
talked about it last week, but you're a legit car guy. The Taycan Take us through the Taycan.
How's it? I mean, why is it called that? Anyways,
The Toucan.
the Toucan. Yeah,
because you can't clear car names anymore, so they come up with these bizarre
you could, though.
combinations.
You could
Don't tell me that, but yes, tell them that. You're right.
Yeah. Anyways, Mission E was good or something, or just anything other than Taken would have been great.
Mission E is also like a burrito type
Mission E. Yeah, the Michigan, Porsche Michigan. All right. No, it's cool. I mean, wow. Finally.
I just want to know how it comes out.
Yeah.
Right. Where did you read about it first, and what did you think? What was that first impression?
Well, the first impression was I've never seen anything more gorgeous in my life, because it was actually in Paris 3 or 4 years ago. They showed the Mission E concept designed by Micha Burkert, who's the head of design now for Lamborghini, but at the time was advanced concepts for Porsche. He actually did the Sport Turismo, the Panamera station wagon. That was Micha did that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he's great. Anyways, now he's at Lambo. Although he did do that Sian thing, which is sort of that's that hybrid V12 thing they showed the other day.
Yep.
Anyways, so it was just gorgeous, and I was like, wow, that's, if you're going to make an electric car, make an electric car. And I think it's super smart on their part, because Audi came out with the e-tron, which is kind of a dumpy looking SUV, and I say this as an Audi owner.
I saw one go by this morning on the way here, and I heard it before I saw it.
Yeah.
I went, "What is that noise coming down the street?" Right? It was interesting. It was different than anything I'd seen on the road.
What was the noise?
Like this heavy,
like tinnitus.
Yeah, but it wasn't silent. It had a Tron-ish kind of thing. It was different than anything
You
I'd
can't
heard.
make silent cars because it's dangerous. Cause just run over children all day. And then Mercedes has that even, I think, kind of dumpier looking EQC. So they went with another SUV, which is smart because Americans are SUV obsessed, and that's all people buy. Porsche's like, we're going to do a great looking sedan, and I think it's a differentiator. Like Tesla's had no problem selling electric sedans, so I think it's really smart, and I think the interior's fantastic. And if you do drive or own a Tesla, I hope you like your giant iPad, because that's all there is. So I think Porsche's really pulled a fast one here. It took them 10 years or however long the Model S has been out, but I think they've got a hit, and everyone I know who's like a serious Porsche dude already has a deposit on one, and they're excited about it.
Do you have one?
I don't.
I don't.
No.
Okay.
I want one. I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a smart thing, and I know lots of people that have driven it, and apparently, you sit in the same seating position you do with a 911. Has a 911 steering wheel. The center of gravity is lower than a 911. It makes 7 bajillion horsepower. And it can go 168 miles an hour. Despite Porsche says it goes 162, we actually maybe tested it, and it actually goes 168, which a Model S goes 133. So if you're in the top speed, it's pretty good. I don't know. I think it's cool.
Who's in the top speed in that car?
I mean, I am, but I might be a minority.
I know, but I just don't know how you're going to use it. I felt that this car was immediately cooler than the Tesla.
Yeah.
Which accounts for so much, and I think it's so overlooked, and all the Tesla fanboys and girls are about the stats and how long the battery is and how many miles you get. But it's, so many times car buying is about emotion, and it's about something beautiful and something new that you see, and not having what your neighbor has. And
right.
They drop this car in there, and I don't know how you resist it if you're in the market for something over $100K.
It'll be well, I don't know if you're wrong. It'll be interesting, because I think that the Tesla brand, for a lot of people that just kind of despise cars because they kill the planet and do all these bad things, Tesla was great because they don't have any internal combustion. So there are a lot of people that genuinely do not like cars, that don't want a Prius, that bought the Tesla. So I think for car people to adopt the electric car, it's like I want an established badge. I want a Porsche. Would be the best case scenario, because everybody who's a car person eventually comes around to the idea that Porsches are great. Or the realization. So it'll be interesting. I don't know how many non-car freaks will be like, ooh, a Porsche electric car. But I think for car freaks, it's like, I do kind of want to go electric. I've been hesitant because, I don't, Tesla, and there's Plus, look, since before they sold the first Model S, everyone's been predicting the demise of Tesla, right? They're going out of business next week. I can't even tell you how many friends I have that are like, next week, Tesla's done. They'll never survive this.
Hey, why aren't they out of business yet?
Because they can't stop selling cars, right?
But aren't they, have they ever made a profit?
Again, profit schmofit.
They can't stop borrowing money.
Yeah, but like, again, since before, I remember when we awarded the Model S Car of the Year back in 2012, and really that was late 2011 when we did that test. People in the room were like, "There's no way they're going to be in business. Like their business plan makes no sense." So that's 8 years ago.
Yeah, here they are.
And I think something like, what was it? Over 4% of cars sold in California were Teslas, which is insane. That's insane because we buy, I forget the actual number, but millions of cars a year. So like huge number. So, I remember being in the room when 11 of us put our hands up saying, "Yeah, we're going to vote Model S our Car of the Year," and it was the same week that Musk docked his rocket with the space station. And I'm like, until this guy actually screws up, like, I'm not going to be one of those, like, they're definitely out of business this week. Like,
what about that word tunnel? Is that a screw up? What about when he attacked the guy in Thailand, called him a pedophile? Is that a screw up? Wait,
but
here's
again,
another question.
how does that affect the car in any way?
Because it's a guy running the company, and it erodes trust in who that person is.
Just a little bit,
but it did
a little bit.
But look, it didn't affect sales an iota. Because
this is what gets me mad.
By the way, don't call people pedophiles. That's
don't do that. Right? Because I do admire the car, and I admire everything he's done. I just wonder why there's so much static. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the turbo nomenclature for Porsche. Your thoughts?
People have a lot of free time and get up. Look, I was now.
Well, it is. I have to say, when I saw Turbo and Turbo S, I went, "Huh?" It gave me a moment. Like in comedy writing, you never want to have that moment.
Right.
You want the audience to laugh at the line. You don't want them to go, "Huh?" Be thinking about the line. Do you see what I mean?
I do.
And in that announcement, I had that moment that I try to avoid in writing.
Now I'm eating a cookie, but okay,
that's a good idea. I'm starving.
So I will say many things. So one is, over a decade ago, Mercedes came out with the CLS, which they called a four-door coupe.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
People got upset about it.
That bugged me and still bugs me.
I was enraged, and then they went one further. They made a station wagon, and they called it a shooting brake because Americans are just allergic to the term station wagon for no good reason.
Right.
So a shooting brake is very specifically a two-door wagon. Like, I actually wrote, one of the first things I ever wrote for MotorTrend was called the Germanification of English must stop, or something like must be stopped. Some crazy, I was on my high horse. So, to me, there's no difference. If you're going to call a station wagon a shooting brake, calling a car without a turbo is the exact same thing. So, it doesn't bother me. And then also...
But shouldn't Porsche be a little better at it? I mean, of all the companies to do this...
But think about the slippery
Chevy
slope.
said
it. And it's very 1970s badge engineering GM move.
Yeah, and we have cars with actual turbos in it that are turbo.
Yeah, but Porsche has a lot of cars with turbos in them that they don't call turbos.
That's true.
Like the Carrera, every Macan.
That just happened last year.
No, it was not last year. It was many years. For the Macan, which came out, 4 years ago now? Mm-hmm. Every single Macan ever made has a turbo, yet only the 2% of them are called turbos. The Macan S, the Macan GTS, all turbos.
So was this an insidious plan from 4 or 5 years ago?
No. They were walked down a line. This is like the USC scandal.
Yes.
They were paying and paying, and then they went, let's fake the SAT scores altogether.
It doesn't even have an engine. Like, who cares if it says turbo? Like, it's okay. It's
got horsepower too. Here's their quote. I called them. I asked them for a quote, and they gave me one. And they said, for Porsche, the turbo nomenclature is synonymous with the top of the model line and represents the peak of both performance and luxury.
Funny, I thought it was synonymous with a turbocharger. but I clearly didn't understand that it was synonymous with something else other than a turbocharger.
At the beginning of the statement, they said, it's simple, really. And I said, no, it's not. It's not simple. It's complicated. That's why I'm calling to ask you the question.
I guess I'm just out of it because, I was so angry about two-door coupe and shooting brake or sorry, four-door.
So you're
coupe and
spent
two different-
now.
That like, yeah, it's like
I know.
when you were younger and like a girl did something bad to you and you went crazy and you had all these wild emotions and like as you got older, it's like whatever. That's sort of
I
where I'm
remember
at.
on Car Matchmaker, I referred to one of these cars. I forget. It was called a coupe. It was a 4-door coupe. People went crazy. They went bonkers. It's like
Yeah.
when I talk about my Range Rover and I call it the truck.
Oh.
It's not a truck.
Oh.
I go, it's quite literally a truck. The chassis is classified as a truck.
I do that when I'm driving around doing a video. I'm like, this car is pretty. I'm in an SUV.
You're dead.
Oh, they lose their
Oh,
minds.
you're
Yeah,
dead. Yeah, I've done that too. Yeah. You can't win with that one.
You
Is it
can't
a car?
win.
It's a truck. What is
Yeah.
it?
I don't. Again, turbo doesn't really bother me. Like the Chevy transmission, the Turbo-Matic has been doesn't have a turbo.
Turbo hydromatic or turbojet engines.
What else do we know? Let me ask you this, because
Yeah.
this is a very expensive car. It starts at 150.
Well, for the turbo, yeah, there's gonna be there's gonna be a non-turbo
for the emblem, which better be made of gold
and
or
shoved into your
platinum.
head.
Yeah.
You can wear it like Flavor
But if you
Flav.
don't want that, what else are they going to make? I haven't
There's
bothered to follow
there's
up
gonna
and
be a
ask about it.
regular Taycan.
Okay.
I the name just I'm actually more upset about Taycan than I am about Turbo. But anyways, the Taycan, whatever it's called.
Such a stupid name.
Yes, it's terrible. Worse than
I don't
Macan,
mind
which
it.
is hard to do.
Macan, actually, now I kind of like. That's what
Really?
happens with these things.
I think I'm a cow. I should be going to a
Yeah.
casino in China with Sheldon Adelson.
I think I'm a nut.
Cayman,
Give me one of those Macans.
Boxster, Cayman, so good. Cayenne, great. Panamera, really great. The
Yeah.
Macan, just dud. And this is below that. Anyway,
Come on, think about it. They had great names like Targa. Targa's such a great fucking name.
well, Targa-
If you want to get something like that's not car related and stick it on a car and say it's a Targa top, but Targa, I think of Targa Florio.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
good.
that.
It's again. Porsche's had great names. Taycan's a huge miss. Anyways,
It's not LaFerrari.
they will have a base model. There's not LaFerrari. They will have a base model, which will be probably just under $100,000. It'll be look. They're priced just like 911, right? So
Right.
a turbo is about $150. A Turbo S is about $185. The base Carrera is now $104,000. Probably that's what the base Taycan will cost.
Will we see an electric 911?
Eventually, yes. You want? I mean, look. After 2024, there won't be gas-powered cars. So
So they say. Come on.
it's soon going to be cheaper to not only make it already is going to be. It's almost cheaper to make electric cars, but it's going to be like way cheaper to like renewable energy would be cheaper than gasoline. It'll just be a factor of economics.
I
In
think
5
they'll,
years.
they gonna
they'll
take
be
our
making
classic cars?
gas-powered cars in 2050.
They will be making them, but they're going to be like it'll be like racehorse. It'll be very expensive. It'll just be something for
Yeah,
rich
you're going to
dudes.
get keyed, Zuckerman. You'll get keyed by all the people who like their electric cars over the gas
I don't know
cars.
about key, but it's just going to be a factor of economics. It'll just be
No, quite literally, you will be keyed.
okay. He'll be keyed, but it'll just be cheaper for the average person to go buy an electric car
Yes.
than to buy a gas car. It's just that's what's going to happen.
Wow, that's interesting. So again, that's not too
don't
far
know.
off.
I don't know. I think I'm going to have a toddy and check the ticker tape.
Here's one thing I will say, because I am a fan of the car. I do like it. Yes, I would buy one. And I like that it looks a lot like the concept car, finally, except for the suicide doors. Finally,
well,
they kind of
the
heard
side-
that little note.
The side view, I'm sad about. 'cause
Panamera,
right? Well, yeah, the side of the concept is so good.
It's
The hard
beautiful,
side,
yeah.
so good. They should have gone the extra mile and done that, but I think because of crash, it's hard to do that.
Right. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I believe now Tesla is the equivalent of a Prius compared to this car. So you're going to see the Prius people who are now the Tesla folks. I'm just saying this to upset the Tesla folks.
Yeah. Oh, they're
But now
so
you've
easy
got-
to upset.
You've
Oh my
got
God.
the cool cars, the Audi e-tron GT. You've got this one and the rest of them that are coming out. They're cool.
Yeah,
you want
I
to be
mean,
cool? You get one of these.
That
you want
Audi,
to drive
that Audi,
a Prius?
that Audi
you know,
GT is going
get
to be
the Tesla.
sweet. That thing,
It's
is
beautiful.
Germans
right?
have seized the high ground and they will
Yeah.
piss on
But,
everybody
like,
done
else.
it
like,
again.
yeah, and a good point. You said the Germans. Like, where's Cadillac? Why isn't Cadillac here? Like, that's to me the most.
Okay,
infuriating
if they
part.
were there, I'd be surprised.
No,
If
but
they're
they-
late to the party.
No, but they should be because
Chevy,
GM.
yes.
But GM had the Bolt 2 or 3 years ago, which
Yes.
was
Yeah.
perfect technology. Like as a, at 240-mile range, back when that was like insane for an electric car.
Yeah.
The Leaf had like an 80-mile range. Here comes the Bolt. It drives great. It's, but it was just like They made
Can't
it
make
into
it
this
cool.
strange, dumpy thing.
I saw a cool
Yeah.
Bolt guy yesterday. He was in a road rage incident with a motorcycle. He came whipping around the corner, chasing a motorcycle
they haul.
and keeping up with him.
Oh, they haul, yeah.
Motorcycle guy stopped.
Yeah.
He tried to hit him, and then motorcycle guy did that classic move. I can't believe he hasn't seen it on the internet, where he tried to kick the car.
And then fall over and die.
He kicked it and fell into oncoming
Yeah.
traffic, and luckily didn't get killed.
Yeah.
But it was a great feud. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna take a break. We'll be back with more Jonny Lieberman right after this. Well, it's time to talk about my sponsors. This printed ad in front of me is called Weird Things. All right, here we go. Think of all the weird things found in cars. And I'm not talking about the stuff that my Plan Z guys leave in that front boot. And I found everything, because between Moise and his groceries and Zuckerman with his iced teas, it's just a mess. And it makes me wonder about them. And another thing that I wonder about, but in a good way, are Continental belts. Bet you didn't know they're OE in tens of millions of Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, and GM vehicles that roll off the assembly line. They're also OE on the majorities of BMWs and VMWs. VMWs? What? VWs! Now Continental is launching the aftermarket multi-V belt with the OE pedigree. It's their OE Technology Series belt that are fanatically engineered for perfect fit, form, and function. And Continental has an OE Technology Series multi-V belt for 98% of vehicles on the road in the U.S. and Canada. Hey, you get enough surprises working on cars and trucks. A belt should not be one of them. Go to Continental OE Technology Series multi-V belt, the belt with the OE pedigree. To get the full story, visit oetechnologyseries.com.
You're listening to Spike's Car Radio.
And here we are.
And here we are. Let's take some questions from our friends. I know you posted some stuff.
I did.
My first question is this picture I put of you up on Instagram. Why is that your profile
First
pic?
of all, this is the most budget post you've ever done. You didn't even put my name.
No, I know.
You didn't even put like a link to my anything.
I tagged you.
You look scary.
I tagged you all over the place. Look at that. MotorTrend TV, Johnny Lieberman.
You actually tagged the photo. Yeah, you didn't do the text, though.
This is how it works on Instagram.
I don't know if it actually works that way.
And everything was done on purpose just like that. I wanted to create a little bit of weirdness
Mystery.
in it.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
that
that-
because this picture bothers me.
Why does it bother you?
Why do you use this as your profile picture?
You know, it's one of those. I just never thought about it, but 2 or 3
But
years
do you
ago,
like it? Do you not like it?
I haven't even looked at it since. So what happened was where was I? Oh, I was at Old Focals. That's where I get my glasses.
Okay.
My buddy Russ's place in South Pass, and I tried those glasses on. I took that photo. I thought it was a funny photo. I made it my pick, and have not thought about it until I was like, "How lazy are you to use that photo?"
I just wanted to have a couple of questions, and then I end up deleting it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, you delete it?
I delete it after a while. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we get the questions, and we try to get through them.
Wow. I
know-
won't delete the post I made of you.
I saw it, but you
Thank
can.
you.
If you have
A
questions,
lovely
on
picture and lovely comments.
everybody's asking about the new Defender and our thoughts on that.
Yes.
I've only seen pictures of it, and everything I've seen, frankly, I hate it. There's nothing about
really?
it that I really like.
Interesting.
But what do you think?
What do you hate?
For me, it's always about love at first sight. I got to look at something and go, "Wow, I desire that," and
Right.
it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't grab me the way a Range Rover should grab me.
So 2 things. So I've seen the production cars quite extensively, and it's really weird. They did this thing. I don't know why they did it, but on I guess it would be the C-pillar, they put this square piece of plastic, which is optional. You don't have to have it. Mm-hmm. When the car has that, I think it looks just like toyish. When it doesn't have it, I think it looks great. And so I think, sadly, though, all the launch photos you're about to see once Frankfurt kicks off in a couple days, they're going to have that hunk of plastic, which is
So it's
unfortunate.
like a panel van, like some weird Chevy panel
You know what
van?
it is? There's a zillion options you can get, like fuel cans or ladders that would then, so it doesn't hurt the glass. They touch that. Now, most people aren't going to have that.
there it is, right there.
Yeah. So if you remove that panel, it's killer looking. I think with the panel, it just chinses it up,
But
and
it's not
unnecessary.
Defenderish
It's
enough.
not Defender-y. Yeah, I mean,
that's what you're missing, Spike. It's
Yeah.
not Defenderish enough. It looks like it looks more like it's some sort of cross between a Discovery and a Range Rover.
I wish they
Or
again.
how about a
I knew
Ford
they were
Flex?
going. I knew they were going to do this.
Ford Flex.
Well, I
anyway?
love the Ford Flex. First of all, great design. Second of all, I wish that you can see in this top. I'm talking to the radio. You can see. But anyways, there's one where this plastic thing is covered by a gas can, and you kind of get the purpose of that plastic thing. But you can also get the car without it. And I wish we had pictures of the car without them because it looks 10 times better.
It does not have a military bearing. It doesn't have a utilitarian bearing, as far as I can tell in the pictures.
Yeah, I would. So my first time encountering these in the flesh, I was in Utah. I was in Moab on the Poison Spider Trail, which is a rough trail. Like it's a. Boy, you got to have a real
rough trade.
Yeah, you got to have a real rough and tumble rough SUV Fridays. To do it. And there was four of these things in camo. There's 4 of these things in camo doing the Poison Spider, which is impressive. So they do have the off-road chops necessary. Yeah, I think the pictures they're releasing aren't great, unfortunately, but I think it's cool.
How about this Defender right here, the Heritage Edition?
Yeah,
right there.
that's cool.
Let's get
that
one of
to
those.
Me is a Defender.
Have you driven that?
We can.
Yes.
We can get this sucker, man. We have a way. We have a mechanism to
but
do it.
Have you
We've
driven
never
these?
followed through.
Because they're really miserable and terrible to drive.
Yes,
that's what's good about it.
That's
what
what
we
we
like.
We
yes,
can have
we
a
do
Range
like
Rover.
misery.
We can have a Range Rover Sport. We can have good driving
I was in
wagons.
my 71 Series 2A all weekend in the heat, and it was miserably fun.
Yeah,
I loved every minute of it. I had 2 kids, dropping them off at Little League. We ran errands. We threw stuff in the back, seats. It was great.
Right.
I didn't want to bring it back.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I'm excited. I want to drive the new Defender, but I get your criticism. I just think that, sadly, I think if you had seen them without that hunk of plastic on the seat pillar, you dig it.
I love Range Rover Sports. Mm-hmm. I love regular Range Rovers. I love them. So I just don't know how that's going to pull me out of that because I'm so comfortable in the.
You know what I want to ask Lieberman?
Go ahead, go.
Ford Mustang GT350.
Yeah.
Shelby's. We saw
one yesterday out. It was a 350 or 350R. Both of us.
2017 white with blue stripes.
Okay.
You know, I like that gray they have with the navy blue. These are great cars, right?
Well,
what?
Yes and no. Yes and no. The R is so good. It's hard to actually describe to people how good the R is. It's that good.
Wow.
The 2016 to 2018 GT350 ain't that good. It's a nice engine in a Mustang. The new 2019 GT350, which is basically an R minus the carbon fiber wheels, is phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. This is the one you want.
Tell us why.
$59,995. Why? So ever since Ford put an independent rear end on the Mustangs, they haven't really, the front and the rear don't really shake hands. So you'll be going around a corner and it's like, ooh, I have okay turn in, and then it just washes out mid corner and then it oversteers exiting. So you go from pretty good initial turn in to crazy boggy understeer to then when you finally get the car straight enough to get the power down, it oversteers. So you're just working a lot through a corner and it just sucks. And the GT350 did that. The 2019, just like the R has always done since day one, they solved that, and it corners incredibly. Grip now that it has R compound tires, damping's fixed, flat plane V8 that revs out to 8250, one of the best sounding engines in the world. Naturally aspirated, stick shift only. It's everything people say they want in a car. Good seats, decent interior, and $60,000.
Let's do a Plan Z on that. How about the three of us do a Plan Z? You win, Lieberman? Come on.
No, I want to talk about Plan Z. That's not the car for me for Plan Z, but yeah.
What is the car for you for a Plan Z?
I got I want a GT3 manual because
Okay.
That's fine. You can make a Plan Z right now
because everything I just said about the Mustang holds true for that. And then it's a Porsche that goes to 9,000 RPM, and it's probably the best car ever made.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
I
don't disagree.
So but it's 3 times as much money as the Mustang, and the Mustang probably gets about 90% of the fun and more power for a lot less.
How come Chevy can't?
They can.
How come they don't?
They do.
With what?
Oh, the SS1LE, the Camaro SS1LE. Is so good.
This is one of your Instagram fans. I was just going to ask you this. Listen, this is what he said. Red Fury. I'm on your site now with this weird picture of us. Can we please talk about how much you love the SS ZL1 1LE? Spike and Zuckerman really need to see the light, as they are two He actually says extremely. But what he means is we're too Porsche-centric.
Yes.
Yeah, because we like them.
It's funny. People don't get excited about Camaros.
And you answered yes.
Yeah.
No, I do. I grew up around. I like a Camaro.
Yeah,
I'm there.
6th gen Camaro is phenomenal. It's just a terrific car. End of story. The 1LE, that's the track focused one. They do such an amazing job. I mean, look, I always tell the story. We had a Performante, Lamborghini Performante,
right.
And we had a Porsche Turbo S we were going to use as a chase car, meaning I was going to chase Jethro around with a camera mounted to the front of the Porsche, and we got a flat tire.
This is on head-to-head.
This was actually back when another show called Ignition we used to do. But anyways, one car. So we were shooting a head-to-head with a Camaro SS 1LE. So that's the naturally aspirated V8 version of the 1LE. And Jethro said, well, look, let's put the camera, since the Porsche's dead, put the camera on the Camaro. I'll try and keep up. You drive the Performante. I'm like, yeah, okay. And in my head, I'm like, Jethro's a good driver, but I'll leave him for dead because I'm in a Performante and he's in a $47,000 Camaro, right? Couldn't shake him at all. In fact, on the way up, I couldn't even keep up with him. He was crushing me in this car. I was on the launch of the ZL1, which is the 650 horsepower Camaro. The former chief engineer of Camaro, Al Oppenheiser, great guy, loves whiskey, awesome dude. Anyways, I'm driving the 650
He was
horsepower.
about to say prostitutes.
No, I was about to say Van Halen, but anyway.
Okay. Yeah, something
Same
happened.
thing.
Loves
Same thing.
heroin.
Heroin.
Al's a great. He's a good friend of mine. I never want to.
And meth.
Pass
give
the
too
needle,
much.
Al.
Yes.
Anyhow, I'm in the 650 horsepower one. He's in the 455 horsepower 1LE, the SS 1LE, and we're on Angeles Crest, and I can't shake him. He's like, that's how good this V8 is. It's just, it's shocking how good that car is. But people just don't get geeked about it. I don't know why.
Mustang looks better, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm
sure they do outside of L.A. I mean, right? I mean,
no, they don't sell well. They don't, and again, no one buys the 1LEs because I don't know if it's still true, but they were stick shift only. But it's a real serious track car, and it'll keep up with anything. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so what would you take if someone was going to give you the 2019 Mustang 350 versus this?
Yeah.
You know,
I need to drive them back to back. I did drive the R, the 2016 R back to back with the 1LE, and I would have taken the 1LE.
Really?
I get that the Mustang has a more hyper crazy engine. But the Camaro was actually, in our testing, was actually quicker, even though the Mustang had more power because the Camaro had way more torque. 5-liter flat plane versus a 6.2-liter regular motor. So if you care about performance, the Camaro was the better performer, and I just like the way it drove. It has like one of the most beautiful front ends of any car. It's just incredible. Now, that said, I haven't driven one for a couple of years, and that new GT350 is sweet. So I'd go... You know, if it came down to nothing but price, then the Camaro is like, $12,000-$13,000 cheaper. So maybe you go that way.
why do you suppose Mustang guys crash more than anybody else at car shows? Go.
well played,
there's more of them. I don't know. Or maybe
Why? I wonder.
Maybe it goes back to what I was saying about how the front and the rear end of the cars don't get along. Yeah. Or
I
maybe,
think you're right. I think there's just
Hot
more
heads.
of them. Hot heads.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but even, cold tires coming off a show.
I
They're
also
trying
think,
to
though,
show
it's
off.
sort of like, if I say car fire, everyone yells out like, Tesla's catch on fire. You should know this, Mr. Lure. 186,000 cars a year are burned down in the U.S.
Right.
3 are Teslas, and they get all the press. Well, and 1 Senna.
Well, that's what Porsche's engineering department said. Did you read that Jalopnik article on the Taycan, the technical? I mean, it's an amazing article. I'll look it up and tell you who did it. But it really went through the technological advancements of the car and the battery placement and how they opted, instead of for longer mileage like the Tesla, they opted for a little more safety. They didn't say it that way, but it looked like they were... there are a lot of things in it that I think you would understand that I didn't understand.
Tesla has a habit of kind of beta testing its products on its customers, which
Money,
which
means money for me.
Silicon Valley,
Exactly.
Silicon Valley people, they part of their culture is beta testing, right?
Right.
You release a non-perfect product, and
here's the article. Mac Hogan wrote it. Why no one is beating Tesla's range. Everyone should read it, and if you understand it, God bless you. I understood most of it, but it really, it's it helps you make this comparison in a little more informed way, and you see why Porsche put these batteries together. And really, it was so they could keep things optimally cooled, so they could have this repeated performance.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I've actually weirdly spent a lot of time drag racing Teslas. And that first launch is going to be better than your subsequent launches. I'm curious to see the degradation of the Taycan launch after launch after launch. However, Tesla's, they've been doing this a decade longer than Porsche has. Mm-hmm. So Porsche could say, we're safer, but it could just be that's their excuse and Tesla's better.
And they haven't burned up yet.
And by the way, Teslas are pretty damn safe. I mean, they as far as crashing goes,
right,
they're really safe. And as far as battery fires goes, there's been 2 or 3. There hasn't been a ton. And again, 186,000 cars a year burned to the ground.
Okay, you and Farah are in a Russian slap contest. Who knocks who out?
He wanted to know this over the weekend.
Boy, I don't know. I mean, he's been working out lately. I'll give him credit. He's been working out lately.
But you're in the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've always kind of been a Starker, kind of like a naturally strong dude.
Have you heard about Elon Musk's new company, Fling, where he's going to put people on a giant flinger and fling them from Los Angeles to San Francisco through the air? What do you think of that? I mean, it's a way to cut down on... No, it's not. Anyway, but something he might do. He's got such grand plans.
Yeah, hey,
I'm building a giant straw, and then an elephant blows you across town, and it's a way...
Like I said, the guy docks
is there any way we can put a wire into your eyes so that I can... That's Elon Musk to me. That's what he is. Let's talk about the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ.
SVJ, yes.
Because I just had it.
One. And?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love Lamborghinis. Yeah. I like Lamborghinis. I like Ferraris. I like Porsche.
I like VJ.
But the car...
V12s are great.
Yeah, explain this car to me. I was a little confused about how to use this car. Was it meant for the track?
Sort of. Lamborghini, with the Aventador, the Performante, they nailed it.
Yeah.
The Aventador is real heavy, and
it's big.
It's
or
humongous.
feels big.
It is humongous. Yeah, it's over 2 tons.
Okay.
So they've just never had the brakes necessary. It's the current Nürburgring production car lap holder.
Right.
Which makes sense because, contrary to what a lot of people think, you don't really use your brakes on the Nürburgring that much. There's a couple spots, so if, it's just like a momentum track. It's a big circle with a couple corners, So that makes sense. We tried to do that at Big Willow, and it kind of underperformed, and it didn't beat the GT2 RS, which was the lap record holder. But look. It's such a charming car. I mean, it's
so fun.
All the power there is.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, great tires.
Low speed in its street mode. The single is it a single plate clutch there?
It's an ISR, independent shifting rod.
So you're getting thrown back and forth in automatic.
The number one thing is never, ever, ever, ever drive in street.
Yeah.
Always put it in sport. Always put it in sport. Yeah.
And they told me not to put it in Corsa.
Always put it in Corsa.
They said it would overheat the clutch, and I did notice the clutch would overheat, and then you'd be thrown into neutral at lights every once in a while.
Interesting.
Right?
They never told me that.
You admitted to breaking the car, Ferriston?
No, I didn't break it. I actually listened to them, but I did throw it in a Corsa on the 405, and does it jump in Corsa, right?
Oh, it's incredible.
But it's no different than any other Huracan or anything else, right? You can have it in Corsa on the street.
Yeah, it's fine. The difference is, and no one knows this, so usually as you go from street to sport to Corsa, cars get more wild in their handling.
Right.
Lamborghini is a different philosophy. The street is kind of whatever. I never use it. I couldn't tell you. Sport is actually the loosey-goosey slide-around mode. So in that instance, 90% of the power hits the rear wheels, 10% to the front. Corsa, because you're setting lap times, it's 20% of the power to the front. So it's actually a more tied-down car, a little more understeery than in sport mode. But if you really want to go quickly, that's the mode
it responded better in Corsa mode.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, great car. I love the SVJ.
Yeah.
I wish it looked as good as the SV.
I think it does in black. I had matte red. In matte red, it looked. My kids loved it, right? So it's a 12 or under car. There's nothing cooler than that, right?
Kids are supposed to look at Lamborghinis and jump in the air and scream.
Yeah, they do.
That's the design brief. Yeah. But the SV to me is just such a knockout, and this one is good. There's a little bit of goofiness because of the ALA system, the Active Aero, where it's they're channeling it. You guys are both on your phones. This is freaking me out.
I'm looking at questions for you while you're chatting.
What are you doing?
We lose him at this point.
Okay.
What is he doing? He's got a business he's trying to run.
Gotcha. Anyways, so it's just not quite as handsome as it needs to be, but it's a wonderful car.
So we've really hit some of these questions. Like A. Gross had a Lamborghini question. Someone, I didn't even see this, calling a Range Rover a truck.
That's funny.
He said it right there. Yeah. What are his feelings about calling a Range Rover a truck? Come on. There are other things to get angry about, folks.
I think if your car can actually go off-road in a real way, you can call it a truck, and that's fine.
But CMS 10676, Google it. Google what the chassis is. It's classified by the DOT. It's classified as a truck, so therefore it is a truck.
There's that.
We never have to talk about this again. Why are we talking about it?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right. What do you got, Zuckerman? Ask him something. I want to go. I want to find a better question on this here because I'm not seeing good ones.
Okay, talk about that Aston Martin DBS Superleisure my partner likes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But my partner, Robert, loves that car, and I will say they have one at O'Gara that is so overly optioned, $100,000 worth.
Now hold on. Let me add a little perspective to this. Now these guys also have a 488 that currently sits with no miles on it, and now they're talking about getting into this car. I am saying to them, you'll have a great week, and then you'll never drive it again. What do you say?
Why aren't you driving the 488?
Okay, he does to some extent. I do
70 miles.
I don't care for it, and I'm going to tell you
That's
something.
the extent.
First of all, I don't particularly care for red Ferraris. Second of all,
I'm with you. Yeah,
he was a nice enough guy to go in on this guy half.
Well, we go in a lot of stuff.
Right,
together.
we go in a lot of stuff.
Here's another thing.
It's not about him driving it. I just don't want Robert to make another mistake about a car that's beautiful to look at that just doesn't get driven.
The only other thing I'm going to say about the Ferrari real quick is that it's mid-engined, which is great for handling, but it's neutral. And I'm not a neutral person. I want to feel some front end or rear end when I'm driving. It just appeals to me.
Some rear end.
You will feel rear end if you drive the DB. Well,
you like some rear end?
I like some rump. Some rump roast.
I can give you.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I'll give you my standard DBS thing. I said it's the most beautiful car of the last 25 years. Fight me. Name another one. 2, 715 horsepower, twin-turbo V12 to make 664 pound-feet of torque. So like a Ferrari 812 Superfast, which is a wonderful car, front-engine V12, like 530 pound-feet. So the thing is so powerful. It's insane. You can't even get full torque until you're in fourth gear. But when or maybe third, I can't remember. Anyways, when it hits, it's hysterical. It just warps the pavement. It's awesome. And, why not get it? If you have the money, what else are you going to do with your money?
It's cockpitty, Zuckerman.
I don't like that.
You don't like the cockpit.
Anything that's I'm too deep in and has too raked of a windshield makes me nauseous.
You could get the convertible that just came out with.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to him. I don't think he's going to pull the trigger.
It's a lovely car. Me and Jethro are one of the head-to-head that's live right now. If you subscribe to MotorTrend, you can watch it. We took a DBS Superleggera and a Bentley Continental GT. We left England. We went to France. We went to Spa in Belgium. We drove on the Nürburgring. They pay you to do
this?
Oh, dude.
You get paid to do this?
I got paid to take these two cars to Spa, which is like the greatest track in the world. It would be if it weren't for the Nürburgring, which we then drove next. And then we went top speed on the Autobahn, or tried to hit top speed on the Autobahn. I think Jethro hit 209 in that. I only hit 201 in the Bentley. But,
so, people, I want everyone listening. You know how they say anyone can be president? Well, that's not true. But apparently, though,
it's not.
Apparently,
you're
blowing this metaphor.
What I'm trying to say is
that is true.
Apparently, it's true though that look at Lieberman. He was going to be a rabbi, and
now
he is.
Now he's going to be a lot of things.
Whatever, but you somehow ended up accidentally. You ran from Crown Heights, and you ended up driving across Europe in supercars.
Yeah. But not only across Europe, but like the tracks. We literally took him on Spa and the Nürburgring.
Boy, you almost fucked your life up, Lieberman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
I know.
But he didn't.
He didn't. You
I
were
chose
so
wisely.
close. Yes.
I ran wisely.
Who has the? We should just get one of these Aston Martins. We had a relationship with them.
Yeah.
I've driven their press cars.
I'll hook you up.
Okay,
We're
let's
going
get
to
it
get hooked up.
Yes.
There was a woman running the whole deal last
One
time.
of the brand new North American PR guy is Nathan Hoyt, formerly of Jaguar Land Rover.
Oh, Nathan Hoyt. He
Yeah.
sent me some cars. I
He's a
think.
good dude. Yeah, he's a good
Nathan.
dude. Yeah.
Nathan Hoyt. Or if you know
Is he-
Nathan Hoyt,
is
we're
he
talking
Jewish
about
or
you,
is
Nathan
he
Hoyt.
Goy?
He's
Nathan
not.
Hoyt.
He's not Jewish.
Nathan
Swiggins. Yes,
Yeah.
Mr.
He's
Hoyt.
tall. He's probably 6'5".
We want to
tallest
drive these
Nathan on the
cars. The last known Nathan.
Yes, who's
Yeah.
naming their kid Nathan?
I mean, you
I
know,
my
I know
wife's
a lot of
brother's name
Nathans.
Nathan.
One of my best friends
yeah.
is Nathan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why?
but
Why
you're
you
100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want this car or not? I wouldn't
Yes.
start making fun of his name.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut this from the podcast.
I can't cut that. I don't ever edit. I can't edit anymore.
Yeah.
Everything stays in. Even your horrible racist remarks that you make, they all stay in.
Anyways, big thumbs up. I love that car. I think it's one of the most desirable cars.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
There's no other questions
There's
I really
no other
see
questions?
here.
All right.
Oh, here's a good one.
Okay.
This is a good one for you. I'd like to know this. What is your Taproot car? Do you know our little thing we talk about here, the Taproot car?
I don't know.
The first
Really?
car you bought that
You
kind
don't
of
listen
starts
to us?
off the whole...
No, I don't listen to anything.
Or it's a car or an
I've never
experience.
even seen one of Farrah's videos.
Well, okay, that's me neither, but that's all right.
By the way, I don't either.
I don't listen.
But I do. You know, I watch Matt's one takes all the time
Not
before
me.
I get a press car.
Not me.
Look how
Well,
proud
you're-
he is, too.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not me.
Not me, goddammit.
I have reasons for this, but
Why are you winking at me when you say
I'm
that?
not winking at you. Oh,
Rump.
Wrong.
that's
I'm
not,
joking,
that was
Matt.
a
I'm
comedy
joking.
writer. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
No, I just. I
So
don't
what's
listen.
the car that?
But
that
that's because you're
it can-
writing about it. You
it
don't
can be
wanna
your
read
first
what he
car
writes.
that you own that sets you on this life, or it can be an experience you had when
Yeah.
you were younger. That's the touchstone for you being
I mean,
crazy
okay,
about cars.
this is. I've told this story many times, but my
hurry up.
dad was always into sports cars, huge car guy. And one of my earliest memories is he had a Datsun 280Z 2+2.
Oh, that's right. We covered this.
Yeah,
You're right.
And and I remember one of my earliest memories is being strapped in a car seat in the front seat, and he
But
had
the Taproot is the first car you buy where you go, oh, I've got a little bit of what I want here.
oh, it was
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You may not keep it. But
2002 Subaru WRX wagon, brand new,
There
and
you go.
I went to buy an Audi S4, and I was dressed in like camo shorts and a punk rock Alice Donut T-shirt with a dead hooker on it, OD'd hooker. I don't know if she was dead or not, and they wouldn't talk to me. I actually follow them on because I now have I follow them on Instagram. Rusnick Westlake. The salesman wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't
Really?
talk to me. I was like, I want to buy an S4 wagon, and the guy like wouldn't do it.
That doesn't surprise me.
And I remember I walked because I'd read about this WRX. Okay, I'll check it out. And I said, hey, could I test drive it? And the guy let me test drive it, and I paid cash. And I remember I drove back to the auto dealership and I started honking in the service bay.
Yeah, fuck you, because you really cared.
Yeah, no one cared, but I walked out and I said something like that.
Fuck you, and nobody's
look
like,
what I
what?
bought.
The dealership system is so broken in this country, in most places.
Yeah.
In most places. Even when you want to have the money and you dress right, it's still a bad experience.
It's just, the irony, though, is that it's Westlake. They shouldn't care how anyone's dressed because there's rich kids, like,
everywhere.
falling out of the
Exactly.
trees.
That's what
Yeah.
California,
Well, yeah,
but that's not
it was
personal.
personal to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is
yeah,
personal.
yeah,
to you.
that's right. That's right.
It was personal to you.
No, but like I met this woman, and she's the number one Rolls Royce dealer in the world, right?
Right.
Palm Springs Rolls Royce, and I was supposed to interview her. And what's your secret? And she goes, well, if somebody walks in wearing a suit, they're trying to sell me something. If somebody walks in wearing sweatpants, they're a Rolls Royce customer.
That's right. There you go.
I like this.
But I think you got to be
Yeah.
old because I was like in 2000. I bought it in October 2001, so I would have been like 26. So yeah, I was like young and haggard looking.
Here's a question. If I had been one of our
old.
listeners, this is what I would have asked. I would have said, what was it like driving Jerry's old Mercedes that we thought had been thrown into the crusher?
What a cool story that
And
was,
then
right?
suddenly it's in Monterey. And then suddenly you're like, I'm driving it. And then suddenly you drive it right over to us and we got to look at it.
Yeah.
You pull into the inn at Spanish Bay. Jerry's there. The Mercedes Classic guys are there. And here we are in this big reunion. I'm there with this car and this storied thing.
It's great, man. It was.
What was it like driving it?
It was wonderful. I mean, it's a super sleeper. Now, I heard you said you were going to try and buy it for like $70,000.
Yeah, 72, I think, was the number.
Awesome $12,000 car. It's the greatest $12,000 car on planet Earth.
Saved some money there.
Yeah, you sure did. Yeah. No, it was cool, man. I mean, it's, I understand why you didn't buy it because it does say like JS edition, and the interior color palette is.
It's blueberry.
It's blueberry with off-white. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like...
This is the way I like it, Spike. Blueberries and off-white.
By the way...
Cream and blueberries. Yeah. That's my thing.
So I looked into blueberry.
Jerry.
I looked into blueberry.
Yes.
It's an actual Mercedes interior
color.
Of course
it is, yeah.
You know how many cars have ever had blueberry?
One.
None.
One. That car.
Blueberries and cream, Spike. That's what I was eating for breakfast in the 90s.
No, it was cool.
I'm getting more extreme with this impression.
It was. Yeah, I like how he's running out of breath. No, it was super cool.
Blueberries.
It was.
You're aging out, Jerry. You're aging out of the car thing. Oh,
that means he's gonna die.
Like Rosebud. Blueberries.
No, it was great. It was great. It was fun. I took it over Lorales grade.
It's just cool. It's just it was just made our week that because we had been talking about it here and then discover it wasn't in the Crusher. I'm getting DM'd about it, and then suddenly funny. Here it is.
Yeah, the night before at the we're having a cigar, and you're like, oh yeah, you're like. I don't know how it came up, but you're like, that car, it's in Mexico. It's something wrong with it.
It's gone.
And I'm like, no, I'm getting it tomorrow. Well, actually, I'm getting it tomorrow. And you're like, well, bring it by.
Yeah, no. So, we were trying to get him to buy it back. Why would I do that?
Well, for 12, if they'll sell it for
I'm eating oatmeal for breakfast, so I only put oatmeal interiors in my cars.
But that was... Okay, that was good. I'll give you that one. But no, that was like a $200,000 car. I looked into the history of that car.
Oh, super
crazy.
expensive.
But they didn't give him what he wanted. They were supposed to give him a car he could register.
Yeah.
They gave him a phony car.
Yeah, it went to Rentec after it went to Mercedes. He wanted them to make them a Mercedes that they tricked out at the factory.
Because it was actually it was a Rentec. I think it's badged to Rentec or whatever. But AMG did the motor, so it's a 6-liter V8.
Yeah.
And look, it's 430 some horsepower, 520 some pound-feet of torque. Still fast by modern standards, and sounds killer once you. The weakness of all Mercedes will always be the transmissions. They never do like great they're reliable, but they're never like pop,
right.
Quick shifting.
You know what we have to do now? We have to find somebody out there who's a Mercedes dealer that has that video, because this was an in-house Mercedes video that I helped write with Jerry. I don't remember what's in it, but it was just for playing at the dealership. So as the clowns came in, they would hit the play on the tape.
On the VHS.
Hello, everybody. Do you like blueberries as much as I do? But I want to see it. I really want to know I forget what we did, but they gave him that.
And what did you get?
Huh? Jerry gave me a Porsche bicycle, a Porsche like racing mountain bike. Which is an amazing.
Which might be worth more than that.
Yeah, right. You're exactly right.
That could be worth more.
Yeah. Well,
actually, look. I mean, let's be honest. Because it says JS edition, that car will only appreciate in value.
It's cool, yeah. And it's cool. No, but let's see. Say if you find that video, if you have a copy of it, send it to us, or at least shoot it on your iPhone and send me the video. I want to see it. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I finally feel awake on Monday morning here as I face the work week. Don't you feel better, Zuckerman?
Terrific. I'm in a great mood.
I'm going to thank you, Johnny Lieberman.
Johnny Zuckerman. Paul Lieberman.
Sorry, all of you
Lieberman.
Jewish guys are the same. Said Spike Fernstein. And thank you for bringing the cookies. They are delicious.
My pleasure.
We have to take a quick call after this. With Rick Schad of the Audrain Auto Museum. Can you stay for Johnny? Will you stick around? All right,
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. We'll be right back with more Spike's Car Radio. You know me. I'm a cat lady. I love cats. I love the personalities. I like the way they cut you with their sharp claws and hurt you. I really like to throw them on the bed and let them attack me. It's fun. I like all of it. You know what I don't like? I don't like that cat litter box. You know why? There's too much dust in it. And I don't like breathing in poopy, dusty things. Which is why Arm & Hammer created new cloud control litter. That's right. There's no cloud of nasties when I scoop that litter. It's 100% dust-free, free of heavy perfumes. I hate heavy perfume. I'm a light perfume person. And it also helps reduce airborne dander from scooping. If you have allergies, that creates phlegm. So what happens in the litter box stays in the litter box. New Cloud Control Litter by Arm & Hammer. More power to you.
You're listening to Spike's Car Radio.
Welcome back, Spike's Car Radio. We got a call coming in, guys. We have Rick Schad from Audrain Auto Museum announcing the new Concours. What? Do I have that right? Is this Rick?
That's me.
Is it Scrod or Shad?
It's Shad, not Scrod.
Apparently Scrod.
I know you're from New England. Welcome to Spike's Car Radio. You have Jonny Lieberman and the real Zuckerman here. And you're here to tell us about, is it Audrain's? Is that the right word?
Yes, it's Audrain's Newport Concours and Motor Week.
And this is the first Concours you guys have had, right?
It sure is. It's more than a Concours. It's a complete Motor Week.
Okay, so this is going to be set. Oh, it's a whole week. So October 3rd to the 6th on the East Coast here. Are you guys trying to steal the Pebble Beach week and take it to the East Coast? Is that the idea?
Well, this isn't about competition. This is about adding another world-class event to everyone's calendar.
That's right. Well, you've got automotive enthusiast Jay Leno there, and TV personality Donald Osborne. What about Jonny Lieberman? Is he coming?
Jonny, you both are invited.
I was invited. This is true. I would have said, I don't know if people don't know Donald Osborne, like the real deal. The guy not only knows everything there is to know about
Donald.
Yeah,
he's great. He's also funny.
Yeah, he's great. But like older Italian cars, knows everything.
Yeah.
But like he's the guy. If you're ever wandering around Pebble and you're like, who's gonna win? Like he knows. He knows. It's. I thought I was pretty good. He's good.
Well, Rick, why don't you tell us what you have going on this year and why we all need to come to this?
Well, it's number one, it's something that we've felt that the East Coast has needed for a long, long time due to the fact of the amount of collectors that are up here in the Northeast. I mean, we have some of the greatest collections in the world, and we're collectors ourselves, and we have a beautiful museum here on Bellevue Avenue in Newport, and we compete. We go to all of these different events around the world with our cars, and we were looking at this and we said, Newport, with its historic significance to the automotive world. I mean, this was the first automotive race in America in 1900. Was here in Newport. The Vanderbilt Cup was founded here, and so there's a lot of history. We have great property. We have great oceans. We have everything you can imagine. We have the perfect setup for a great automotive event. So we had been looking at it for years. And about 2 years ago, we decided to pull the trigger and invest in creating what we think will be one of the greatest automotive events in the world. And judging by the quality of cars that we have coming and the manufacturers that are all signed up, and having people like John Legend play a concert here on the Friday night, and having Kenny Loggins on Saturday night. And
Kenny Loggins.
What about Messina?
Can we get Rush to play?
Rush,
we may get
Jay Giles' band would be perfect for it.
Yeah, we were thinking a Tone Loc maybe for next year. But,
and you're gonna is Rod Emery coming, or are you just gonna have his car?
No, Rod is coming. Rod is coming, our outlaw Porsche that is being finished up now. And we have, we're going to be unveiling our Bugatti Chiron glass roof Skyview car is going to be unveiled here. We have Aston Martin doing a couple unveils here. We have one of the largest collections of Bugattis in U.S. history are going to be on display with the mansion. So what's a little bit different about our event is that the manufacturers are at different historic mansions along Bellevue Avenue, and the actual Concours d'Elegance, which happens on Sunday, October 6th, is at the old Vanderbilt mansion, the Breakers, right on the Atlantic Ocean.
Swiggins.
Stunning.
Swiggins, weren't you at the Vanderbilt mansion just last week?
Tate.
What happened over there, Swiggins?
Well, capital gains. We took our capital gains and we had a party.
You were quite a shellacking.
Well, only in taxes.
Well, this sounds like fun. I mean, you know, remember, get the bathrooms right and get the food right. That's one of the things I like about the Quail event is you go there, you don't have to worry about food and going to the bathroom.
Well, this is true. We've been working on bathrooms, beautiful bathrooms.
Bathrooms are the most important thing of any
you
Concours.
know what I'm saying, right?
Yes, and you know who does the greatest bathrooms in the world is Goodwood. Now they do bathrooms right, and that's what we're.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, no, Goodwood's good. But I would just say, you know, how a lot of I think us West Coasters aren't really familiar with Rhode Island. It's sort of like
well, I am. I'm from Massachusetts.
Yeah, but like the Newport, the wealth that state has, the historic wealth is nuts. So it kind of makes sense if you're going to do a Concours d'Elegance. It's a kind of a smart place to do it.
Robert Barron Row.
Yeah, Robert Barron.
Those are amazing mansions there.
So I've been to Brown. What's the town? Brown University, Providence.
Providence.
Yeah, quite a bit. Home of Buddy Cianci.
What about Pawtucket?
Now,
I've never been there, but I went through. Yeah, Buddy's for those who aren't aware, he was the old mayor of Providence. Who
Buddy Cianci.
Went to prison twice and got reelected.
Yes.
He's a good man.
He was
we like him
with the Raymond Patriarca, the New England mobster.
But I went through Newport. I was just like jaw on the floor at
It's beautiful.
kind of
it's
the
really
grandeur
beautiful.
of the place.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like an amazing event.
Yeah, it should be cool.
Newport's even more beautiful. You'll be blown away. I mean, that's the reaction we get when we have like the sponsors come in for tours and stuff. I mean, it's jaw dropping how gorgeous the oceans with the juxtaposition of the mansions. And we are also having an event that's somewhat similar to Quail, but a little more. We think a little more exclusive, which is only for 1,200 people, and that's called The Gathering at Rough Point, which is Doris Duke's mansion, and that's unlimited food and the best drink in the world. And
what about cigars? I haven't heard the word cigars yet.
Yeah, we have Tabacalera, one of the great cigar distributors who we were introduced to by Cigar Aficionado, is supplying cigars.
I like that.
All right, I'll go.
So
I'm there now. Here you go. And I'm assuming you'll have sprays so we all don't get Lyme disease.
Yes, we have DEET with 90% DEET.
This is going to be fun. This is good. This is I like this idea. See, growing up, I never had anything like this near my house in West Bridgewater, Massachusetts, and I was born in Fall River, right there, so nearby. And we just didn't have car shows. We had my friend in town had a Chevy Nova that was jacked up in the back with big wheels. That was it. That was the show.
Yeah, we had that. No, but this was pitched to me. This Concours was pitched to me as like it's going to take up the slack in between Pebble and Amelia Island.
I like that.
Sort of like, between the two.
Now, I don't want to, bring up any competition, but doesn't Greenwich have something?
They have a Concours over the summer, Greenwich Concours.
They do. They have a lovely motoring event.
But this is like the week-long.
Right.
Yeah. What about auctions? Are there going to be any auctions associated?
Yes, we have our auction partner, Gooding and Company.
We like
Gooding.
Goodings will be there.
Gooding is going to do their auction next year. This year they'll be here with private treaty cars.
Okay.
And they're scoping out the landscape for, and then we'll execute an auction next year, which we're really excited about because this is an annual event.
Right. Well, this is exciting. I'm glad you're doing it. Congratulations, as Zuckerman says.
Well, we appreciate that very much. And we look, the invitation stands. Don't worry about the mosquitoes out here.
Or the rain.
The rain. No, it's usually beautiful this time of year.
No, it's gorgeous out there. I've been there many times. The Concours is October 3rd to the 6th. And where do people get tickets and information?
Yeah, come to AudrainConcours.com. We have all the ticket information up there. A lot of things are selling out, so get on there, get tickets, come out, have a great time. But I should say that, half of this event essentially is free to the public, so you can come out. You'll see a lot of great cars without spending a dime, but if you want to get into the VIP experiences and things like that, there are tickets available for that.
What do you think?
VIP.
Yes, Wiggins.
For any people on the West Coast, any people on the West Coast who have not been to New England in October, this is really the time of year and the place to be. Rhode Island is one of the smallest states, but is one of the most
smallest.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know small.
Yeah.
I know small. And it is small.
Not only the foliage is turning, but the money is turning, Zuckerman.
It's maturing. Compound interest, Swiggins.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Very good chatting with you. Best luck with the Concours. And hopefully we'll see you there. All right.
I hope so, too. We appreciate it.
Okay, take care, Rick.
All
Bye.
right.
All right, and that's all we have, my friends. Johnny, got anything you want to promote?
Just follow me on Instagram.
All right.
Follow me on Instagram.
Zuckerman?
Well, if you've been in an accident and you need my help, call me.
Yeah,
Carpenter, Zuckerman, and Rowley.
Don't call the guy in the back of the bus with all the twos. Call Zuckerman. And I'm Spike Ferriston, your podcast friend. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio. Download new episodes every Wednesday on the Podcast One app or subscribe now at Apple Podcasts or PodcastOne.com.
Well, we got a lot of football. We got the NFL. We got college football. The action continues to heat up with big games on the schedule that you are not going to want to miss out on. You got to visit our good friends and exclusive partners at Podcast One, betonline.ag. Take advantage of the best bonuses in the business. Sign up for a free account and make sure you use that promo code Podcast1 for your 50% sign-up bonus. You know, they have a lot of stuff there. They gave me a little bit of money to play with, and I'm a little nervous about spending it. Right now I got $250 in my account. I might just keep it. And, buy some model cars. Or I might lose it in blackjack in about 5 seconds. Anyway, football. Big matchups this week. Baltimore at Kansas City. The Rams at Cleveland. Here are my picks in actually they are in order. The Patriots, who I believe will be undefeated this year. But I know nothing about football. But boy, can they play. So I'm going to pick the Patriots. You got the Cowboys and the Dolphins. I'm not a big fan of the Dolphins owner for a lot of reasons. He's ruined Soul Cycle for me. So I'm going to root against him. I'm going to pick the Cowboys. I like Dallas. I like Texas. Sorry, Miami. At least your owner can go to hell. We have the Chargers over the Texans. I'm just picking that one. I don't know. Saints over the Seahawks. That's about Joel McHale. Joel McHale is a huge Seahawks fan, and I'm just rooting for the Saints. And the Bills over the Bengals. Again, I had to pick the Bills because I like Bills in Malibu. That's where we get our coffee. So you can see there's a lot of science and a lot of experience going into these guesses. You can visit betonline.ag, and don't forget promo code Podcast1 for your 50% sign-up bonus. I am registered there on betonline.ag. I'll be with you at 3 in the morning tonight, gambling at your online sportsbook expert.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all, listen up. CarShield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that covers more parts than ever. Visit carshield.com/audio to find out how you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Get your free quote today at carshield.com/audio. That's carshield.com/audio.